Alright guys, we are at Indian Creek Ranch, and right now it's about 62 degrees and I'm lightly dressed, but I've got a ton of clothes in here in the blind with me, because in about 2 or 3 hours it's probably going to drop by 20 degrees or so. It's supposed to be like 38 by 5 o'clock tonight. The sun goes down around 5:30, but it's cloudy. It's supposed to rain for the next 2 to 3 hours, so we got a front coming through, and probably tonight snow and maybe some sleet and freezing rain. So it is November 13th, so we're still probably 2 weeks away from maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks away from the rut starting to kick up. Usually it's about Thanksgiving that the rut gets kicked up here in Rock Springs area. And then by the first week of December, it's probably the prime time. So I've been hitting hard in the National Forest, the Sam Houston National Forest. But it's deer are slim pickings there. They're just a lot of them are nocturnal, but it's like the middle of the rut right now for that area. Peak of the rut in Sam Houston right now, about November, I think 11 through 13 or something like that. Right, and give or take a day or two. But haven't got anything in the Sam Houston. I've been hunting over scrapes and in some good areas that I've been catching some deer at night, but nothing during the day. So that's the way it goes in Sam Houston. I get spoiled out here. This morning I had an axis buck come through, a small one, but didn't have an opportunity to turn. I turned the camera on. By the time it got fired up, the deer had passed through. He was really weary, so I don't think I would have got a shot anyway. But we're going to sit back and let this cold front hit. Maybe we'll see a lot of deer at night, so stay tuned.
For the Lord is God, and He created the heavens and earth, and put everything in place. I am the Lord, He says, and there is no other. Let all the world look to me for salvation, for I am God, there is no other.
So watch fast, because this happens really, really fast.
Yeah, baby. It got really, we had this front come through, it got really cold. Man, I saw him run that way, so yeah. That looked like a decent sized buck. He's not huge, but he was a shooter. I don't think I've ever seen him on camera. Alright guys, I went out for an initial look, and right where you can see that deer the last time, I think I got it on camera. The last spot I could see him with the naked eye, right through there, is the last place I found blood. And rain is coming. It's been raining off and on, so I'm gonna go back down there. It's been about probably 35-40 minutes. It was a good shot.
Unfortunately, I hadn't realized how far that deer had moved in forward and quartering to me. So from my perspective, I was still in my mind thought it was a good shot, but obviously it was not.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna find this buck. I'm gonna go back and see if I can find some blood further out because it's raining. I got to leave the camera here. Sorry. Well, guys, I was able to slow that video down enough on the camera. I don't have my glasses, so I can hardly see this screen finder. My reading glasses, but I think I got it slowed down slow enough where I can tell it looks like he, just before I shot, he stepped quartering to, and I must not have recognized that. And it looks like he was turning hard when the arrow hit. So that's probably one lung. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to let him sit overnight. I'm not gonna go look for him anymore. I went out probably 100 yards and looked around, but that deer could be well 300 yards away. And I don't know that he's gonna bleed any. And it's already rained enough probably to wash the blood away anyways, most of it. So, man, that's frustrating. Hey guys, it is the next day and I'm headed out to go hunting this morning. I'm gonna go find that deer about 10 or so. It was plenty cold. It's 27 degrees this morning, so can't pass up a good hunting morning. That deer will be fine. But I've got permission from the neighbor to go over there and check. But I found the arrow. Just a quick update. I found the arrow about 5 yards away from the road. So this deer made it at least to the road. It's 200 yards, right at about 200 yards. So I know it's probably one lung and a liver on this deer, or maybe just a liver. So he should be within 100 yards, I'm thinking, of that road.
So even with the disappointing shot on that buck, I decided I was going to go out and hunt the next morning because it was really, really cold. It was about 26 degrees when I got into the stand, and you can hear a lot of noise, but that's not me making the noise. That's ice on the screens that keeps making all that noise. But I figured the axis deer were going to come in, and I did have this young buck come in, and as always, when we get the opportunity with an axis deer, we go ahead and take it. We really need to keep these numbers in check. We manage for the whitetail deer. But anyways, he comes in. It's not even shooting light yet, and then finally he stuck around for about 10-15 minutes before I finally get the shot. But watch this as it plays out.
Yeah, baby. It looked like a good shot. I ran it back on the video and took a look. I couldn't
rejoice too much there, because I was still covered up in deer. All the deer pretty much came back except that smart doe. She wasn't coming back, but a lot of the other deer came back. But I think it's a good shot. I gotta run it back and check it better, but I see it's a pass through right over there. So hopefully that deer will be dead. But with axis deer, I've learned to wait at least 3 or 4 hours, because I'm telling you, I've had really good shots before, right in the sweet spot where you think you'd kill them. And you go an hour or two later and they run off. I've lost axis deer like that before, so we're going to give it a long time. I'm going to wait here because there may be some more axis deer that come in, maybe that big buck. And then also I'm going to go get that, I'll go look for that whitetail I shot last night. So stay tuned. This is Indian Creek Bowhunting Journal.
So I knew this cold weather was going to bring these bucks out. This is a pretty nice young buck. He's only a 7-point, but hopefully next year he'll grow some more points, but we shall see. Anyways, he stuck around for a little bit and then left. Then he came back through again and then made a scrape, or actually worked a scrape. In fact, I've been seeing a lot of scrapes on the property. They've been opened up quite a bit, so we're probably in the pre-rut right now. Rut probably be kicking up pretty good here come Thanksgiving, which is about a couple of weeks away, something like that. Then after that I got down and went to check the arrow, and then just looked for some initial blood in the trees there. But I was gonna give this axis deer a lot of time, because I've learned that boy, you gotta leave those axis deer for a long time, because they're a lot more sturdier deer than the whitetail. Then I had our funky rack buck come through, and he needs to be taken out of the herd, but I guess I'll probably let my son-in-law shoot him, since he hasn't shot a deer before with a bow. And then that was about all I had for the morning.
Alright guys, we're down out at the stand, but we're not gonna go find that axis buck right now. We're gonna sneak out the backside over here, because I'm gonna let him stay till afternoon. Let's go find that whitetail buck. Gotta go on my neighbor's property over here, so let's go. Alright guys, since I'm gonna be traipsing on neighbor's property, I got my orange on. Figured I don't want somebody shooting me. Also not going to be carrying a rifle. But this is where I found, right in here, is where I found the arrow right there. And he came, obviously, this point right here, he came from that way. There's 2 gullies that he had to cross. I had checked the first gully coming this way, and I'm pretty sure I pushed that buck out of his bed probably. Stupid, I should have checked really close, but really rookie mistake. I found the arrow right here by chance. I was just coming through here on the edge to see if he made it off the property, and found the arrow. So, and it's about 10 yards maybe from the road. You can see right here, and then I found a little bit of blood up here, but it's gone now because it rained. But last night, before it started raining real good, I found some blood, like right, I think it was right in here somewhere on a rock. But it's gone now. So that means he's over there somewhere. And that's my neighbor's property. So that's what we're gonna do, is head over here. I'm gonna leave the camera though, because I got my GPS. I'm just gonna do a grid search. So hopefully we find this buck. Booyah! There he is right there. Yes. I figured he would come down off that hill and get on the flat and then lay up, because he made it over the hill and down this steep hill over here. Real rocky, but he's right there on my neighbor's property. So awesome. Thank you, Carl, for letting me come over here and get him, because Carl's, it's on yours, not Glenn, it's not on yours. This is real close to 2 properties. I've been walking the property line, so, but thank you, sir, appreciate it. Let's pull him out of there.
Booyah. Deer number 2. Right there. You see him? Right there. Well, he only went about probably 80 yards, maybe 100. Probably 80 yards, about that. I was a little worried about the shot because it looks like the shot was a little bit back. Actually, a lot back, but he was quartering pretty hard, so it's been 6 hours, so he's dead right there. I've learned on these axis deer, you better wait a long time, because if I would have got up an hour after I shot him and walked over here, he probably would have ran off. But anyways, let's go get him. All right, guys, this is a first for me, an axis buck and a whitetail buck. Of course, this is a young one. And actually, this whitetail I shot yesterday about 317, and he ran about 200 yards to the edge of my property. And last night I called my neighbors and got permission to go look for him. Found him after about a mile walk, zigzagging back and forth down a steep hill, and he was down on the flat. As I look at him now, he was a lot of ground shrinkage. He's only a 3.5-year-old buck. I wouldn't have shot him. I don't know why I did. I just thought, a split second thought is, mature buck, 4.5 at least. And then the whole time after that, I'm focused on shooting. Of course, the shot wasn't the greatest, but lung and liver did the job. I went immediately to go look for him, and obviously I spooked him. He would have probably just bed down within 150 yards or so if I wouldn't have gone over there, but I thought I double lunged him until I looked at the video later. And then this guy, I think, was probably a double lung. I hit him back, but he was cording away pretty hard and actually ducked away from the arrow, so the arrow went nicely in there. He went about 80 yards and found him. So anyways, thank you for watching Indian Creek Bow Hunting Journal. Be sure and give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Hit the little bell for the reminder bell that tells you, that way we'll let you know by email when we get our next video out. So I hope you enjoyed that hunt. Very target-rich environment this trip. And I've got about 5 hours of butchering ahead of me. And I'll get these 2 deer in the freezer and head home. Thanks for watching Indian Creek Bow Hunting Journal.